What's going on? It is Coach AJ Liu, and today I'm going to tell you how to dramatically increase your customers' likelihood of saying yes. I'm going to tell you what happened today because it was a perfect example of how this whole process works. So earlier today, about 2 hours ago, myself and my business partner had a meeting with a new customer. And this new customer, we're doing a whole full suite of, we're basically rebranding him, right? So we're getting him a new logo, new website. We're going to do a video shoot showing people what his business does. We're going to do some photo shoots, and we're also going to do some marketing, some video marketing for him, right? And so today was our first, so last meeting we collected funds, we did that whole thing, signed agreements. Today's meeting, we were presenting him with the first little bit of actual stuff that we did for him. So we created logos. I don't create logos. My business partner Will is the master at that stuff. And so we go in, and there's 3 logos that we created for him, right? One of them is like it almost looks like a stamp of approval, and it has his the initials of his business in the middle, and it says the name of the business around the circle, has little stars, right? Looks pretty cool. That one it looks really good. Then there was a second logo. This one was a little more colorful, and it had like components of what his business does. So he's a janitorial facility maintenance business, and so we had like it's hard to describe, but it had like little sectors like mops and spray bottles and different things built into it. Super dope logo. Like, no question, this logo was freaking fire. Like, crazy how dope this logo was, right? And then the third logo had like these lines. It was a circle, and it had like these lines that were a T, but the T had lines that were, it's hard to describe without you guys seeing it. But basically all 3 of these logos were dope, but the second logo was freaking amazing. Like, everybody that my business partner showed it to prior to us having this meeting, it was like, yo man, that logo is tight, you know what I mean? And when my business partner first called me to show me the logos, I was like, yo man, that second logo, I think that's the way he should go. But, and I threw out this caveat, but our client is in his 50s, right? He's an old school guy. He's in the janitorial facility maintenance space. So he's more of like a blue collar, work hard, go get it type of guy. And this second logo was a little colorful, right? It had some different colors in it, some different elements. It was super dope, but it just was like a little different, right? It was a little different. And so I told my business partner, I was like, look, man, I think this is the best logo. However, knowing our customer, right? Knowing our customer, he might, because of who he is, where he's at in life, and all those kind of things, he might not dig it, right? He might not dig it. And I just want to give you that, but first and foremost, beforehand, so when we go into this meeting, that even though that's the logo that you think is best, I think is best, all that kind of stuff, it might not be best for him, right? And so we go into the meeting today, and as we're pulling out the computer and we're talking, we're going through our stuff, and my business partner gets his computer set up, and I'm all excited, right? Because I'm like, yeah, man, we're gonna get the logo selected. I'm pretty juiced, and I want to see what his reaction was gonna be to that second logo. And so we pull it out, we present. My business partner starts talking about all the reasons why he created the logos, why he did, and before he finally unveiled them. And I'm sitting there like a little kid, all antsy, just like looking at our our new customer, trying to see what his feedback's gonna be. And so he shows him the first logo, and the guy's digging it, man. He's like, man, I like that, dude. He's talking about it. He's going through all this stuff, right? And then the big reveal comes of the second logo, right? And so my business partner hits the page down key on his computer, and it pops down, and I'm almost like in slow motion, like looking to see the reaction on his face, right? And as soon as the logo appears on the screen, you see him kind of go, boom, cross his arms and lean back a little bit. He doesn't say much. He's like, okay. And then we could tell, right? We're both, I'm very well versed in body language and psychology and all that kind of stuff, right? Marketer, sales, all that stuff. And my business partner is too. He's pretty well versed in all those things. And so we could tell right away that he wasn't feeling it. And it was exactly kind of what we pre-diagnosed before the meeting. And then we show him the third logo and he's like, yo, arms unfold, uncross, he goes and he's like, yo, man, that one's tight too. I don't know which one to choose between the first and the third. Let me see the first one again. And then we show him what they would look like on vans, because he has a van that he takes around and his employees take on jobs and all that kind of stuff. He wanted to see what it would look like on vans. So we showed him that and he ended up going with the first logo, right? It was a win. He was excited. He was super pumped, super juiced. And having the logo done is going to let us do the next step, which is going to be his website. But here's the thing that I wanted to tell you. Even though we thought that the second logo was probably the best option, if we would have went into that meeting with only that as our one option, we would have left disappointing that customer, right? We would have severely hurt our chances of retaining that guy as a customer. And so the reason I tell you this is because sometimes what we think is best, sometimes what our preference is, sometimes what our, ideal situation isn't the ideal situation for everyone else, isn't the best choice for everyone else. And so how can you dramatically, significantly increase your chances of getting your customer to say yes, to getting your customer or your prospect to move forward and to be happy and to be satisfied? It's very simple. And there's two parts to this, and you want to do both parts. First and foremost, you want to give them options. Give people options. Nobody wants to feel like they have to do something, like they must do something, right? Think about all the stuff that you feel like you have to do, right? The only time you have to do stuff is when you feel like a little kid, right? It makes you feel like a little kid. Hey, I have to go do this. My mom said I have to, right? We're adults, man. You don't have to do anything, right? So you don't ever want to make your customer feel like they have to do something. They have to move forward with this one option, right? So the first part of what you want to do is you want to give them options, but the second part is even more important. The second thing that you want to do is you want to make sure that you control those options, right? You control those options. And the magic number for us that we found has been 3. So anytime we go into a meeting, anytime we're presenting a proposal, anytime we're doing anything like that, we have 3 options, right? We always have 3 options because they might like this about the second option and, might not like the first option because it's missing something, right? Or vice versa. Maybe they like the third option because it includes all of this and they don't mind spending more money, but the second option wouldn't have met their needs. And so giving people options, but making sure you control the options is the key, right? And this works super well, especially if you know how to present value, if you know how to make your offer something that's irresistible, where every time you show the next option, you're building more and more value where people are like, damn, man. And another cool thing, this is like an old school Tom Hopkins trick that you can use. And I use it sometimes, not very much, but once in a while. You associate personality, or you associate traits to each of the packages, right? So you can say something like, so option 1, this is for our customers that maybe they don't have a lot to spend right now and their budget's a little tight and they're looking to get something started, right? So that's option 1. Option number 2, this is what most of our customers go with. And this is the package that gives you everything you need. It's gonna freaking rock from the start, get-go, right? And then option number 3 is for our fortunate customers, right? Those who want the finest things, the best quality, the best of everything. And that one is this much, right? And so what you do is you associate different traits, like different levels to each of the packages. And then you say, so which one of those customers would be you, right? And so then they either gotta say, oh, I'm the customer that's kind of struggling right now, or I'm the customer, I want to go with the thing that everyone else is doing, which is social proof, which is one of the factors of influence. Or you might have the people that like status is their number one thing, right? And significance. So they're like, no, man, I'm going option number 3. I don't do anything less than the best, right? And so now you give people options. You kind of label them, and you let people self-identify with which one works best for them. And so at the end of the day, man, in order to increase your likelihood of getting people to say yes, you want to make sure you give them options, and you want to make sure that you are controlling the options. I hope you got some value out of this video, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.